Welcome in. Jesse Schewel here from jesseschewel.com. Today, I'm going to give you a preview for Week 0, Saturday, August 26th. Football season kicks off in just 2 days, and I hope you're as excited about it as I am. We got off to a great start to football season last year. We're looking to do it again this year. It starts with Notre Dame taking on Navy in Ireland in an early game this Saturday. Big story with Notre Dame. They signed Sam Hartman from Wake Forest. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the nation last year. I think all-time touchdown leader in the ACC. So it's going to really turn this offense around for Notre Dame. They really lacked a quarterback in recent seasons. Drew Pine was sort of a game manager. And that was part of the reason why last year Notre Dame beat Navy by a score of 35-33, but the game wasn't as close as it looked. The Irish were up 35-13 at halftime, and they didn't score a point in the second half, and Navy almost came back. The Irish were a run-heavy team last year. Against Navy, they ran 34 times for just 66 yards. And Navy last year was very good against the run, which is typical for Navy. Usually they're quite good against the run. Not so much against the pass. They were one of the worst in the country against the pass last year. And I think this line is sort of affected by what happened in last year's game. You got the Irish as a 20.5-point favorite. And I think there's reason to believe that this is going to be a blowout with Hartman at quarterback. There's no question. I mean, a lot of people are on the fence. How good is Hartman going to be at Notre Dame? Which is a fair point. It's a new offense, new coach. There's going to be new wide receivers around him. But against a team like Navy, I expect him to have a big game. Navy's just not accustomed to facing teams with elite quarterbacks, and they're just not very good at defending the pass. History tells us that the Irish have beaten up on Navy in Ireland in the past. So my first lean for this game was to take the over 49.5 points. I think it opened at 49.5. It went up to 50, 51, but reports now that the weather could be high winds and rain in Ireland, and that kind of thwarts our play on the over. So I'm kind of sitting on the fence here, thinking that on the morning of the game, let's check the weather. If the wind and rain isn't too bad, I'd lean on the over 49. If it's going to be pouring down rain and winds of 20 kilometers or more, I think you're going to have to pass on that, and you're not going to want to take the Irish either if the passing game is going to be slowed by the weather. Moving on, let's look at Vanderbilt taking on Hawaii. Of course, this is a rematch. These two teams opened the season last year in a head-to-head matchup. Hawaii was just a short home dog of single digits, but Vanderbilt dropped 62 on them, beat them by 50 points. Hawaii just had no answer for the running game of Vanderbilt. The Commodores' offensive line really dominated that game, and I don't know why we would expect anything different here on the road at Vanderbilt. Hawaii, I like this Hawaii team in certain spots. I actually had a big bet on Hawaii as a double-digit home dog against UNLV last year. I did bet Hawaii on the money line in that game. They won outright. That was one of my bigger wins of last year's football season. But they only won 3 games last year all season long. All 3 of those wins came at home. Hawaii plays now in a high school football stadium. Their big stadium was condemned. Nobody wants to play for Hawaii. Recruiting is tough. Nobody wants to sign up for that travel schedule. All sorts of problems. I got to give Timmy Chang credit for the job he's done in his first season at Hawaii, keeping them somewhat competitive. But playing on the road against an SEC team, even if it's one of the worst or the worst SEC team of the bunch, it's still going to be tough for me to see Hawaii competing here. I think it's going to be deja vu all over again. Same thing we saw last year. And another thing, it's a really tough schedule spot for Hawaii. They play their home opener against Stanford just a few days after this game. They don't even have a full week off before their home opener. So, in my opinion, if Hawaii is getting beat up in the first half, I don't see them having the motivation to grind out the second half and fight back for a backdoor cover. I think they once this game gets out of hand, which I expect it to, I think Hawaii throws in the towel, starts licking their wounds, and getting ready to go back home to take on Stanford. So I really like Vanderbilt minus the 17. I like it up to 20, to be honest with you, up to 19 and a half. Anything under 20 and ride with Vanderbilt, in my opinion, is my take on that game. Moving on, let's take a look at the final game that I'm going to talk about today. It's USC taking on San Jose State. And I don't love this game either way, but if you force me to make a lean on this game, I'm going to have to go with the over. We've seen this from Lincoln Riley over and over and over again. History repeats itself. The guy churns out elite offenses and subpar defenses. USC was terrible defensively last year. In fact, I was talking to Detroit Lenny today on Picks and Parlays channel, Bet Win Repeat, and I mentioned USC was one of the best teams in the country in turnover margin last year. And can that continue here this season? Because as good as they were last year, and Caleb Williams won the Heisman, and he's actually the favorite to win the Heisman again, their offense looks great. Their defense wasn't great at all last year. And if it wasn't for all the turnovers, it would have been even worse. So I kind of expect that turnover ratio to sort of regress back to the mean. I don't think USC is going to be great defensively. And San Jose State, I think they're going to get steamrolled in this game, but they do have an experienced quarterback in Shaven Cordero. The guy played for Hawaii for several seasons. I believe he's a super senior this year. He's coming off a fantastic season, actually. That sort of flew under the radar with San Jose State, had a pretty good year. I expect him to be able to move the ball and put some points on the board. I think San Jose State scores 20 to 24 points in this game, and I don't think they're stopping USC from going 45 to 50. So even though it's a big number, even with the rule changes, I'm going to go with the over 65.5 in USC versus San Jose State. And that pretty much wraps up Saturday, August 26th, week 0. I will mention the banner at the bottom of your screen. For limited time at jesseshul.com, you can get all my football packages. That's a season-long college football, season-long NFL, or college and NFL combined, 50% off. Why would you be interested in that? Well, if you weren't around last year, I did start the NFL season with a perfect 10-0 run. I started the college football season by going 18-2 in the month of September. Let's see, 30-5, 86% college and NFL combined last September. And I did finish in the top 5 in the world with both college and pro football. And you can see me on the leaderboards at capareviews.com, at sportscapping.com. I'm on sportsmemo.com, picks and parlays. But if you're looking for that 50% off full season package, you're going to want to come see me at jesseshul.com. So if you got $99 in your pocket, you come see me at jesseshul.com. You'll be glad that you did.